The Orlando Police Department is putting more officers on the streets during the agency's busiest hours in an effort to try to decrease response times or rather increase them and improve efficiency. We're joined live by Police Chief Orlando Rolón this morning to tell us more about it. Good to see you, Chief. How are you?
Good morning.
All right, so let's talk about this new shift. What made you decide that this was a good idea?
Well, every so often we have an opportunity to look at the way we do business, and we found that this was the opportunity to modify how our resources were deployed. So what we did is we condensed the number of officers that we had when they were not needed and put them where we needed them most, and so far is working out well.
All right, so kind of describe to us exactly how this works. So we're talking about that you guys are basically able to look and say, okay, this is a peak time for crimes to happen, so we need more people out on the streets at those times?
Correct. We looked at what were the busiest periods for the police department, and we took our resources, our current resources, and we shifted them so that they were best used and most efficient during the times when we needed them the most. We plugged them into those areas where the times or calls for service were the highest, and now we have more officers during those times versus the non-peak times. That in turn should translate into hopefully better response time, more presence whenever we have the busiest periods when the calls for service are the highest.
Okay, and we want to talk about surveillance cameras too, because I understand that you guys have figured out a way to better utilize them. I know there were problems in the past. A lot of times the cameras weren't working properly. Has all that been rectified?
And every time there's construction around our vibrant downtown area, of course, our lines were getting hit when it comes to the iris system, our camera system. A lot of that has been taken care of, but we're moving forward with another project which is called a real-time crime center, where analysts and staff will be able to monitor those cameras, go into our system so that when we have something in progress, they'll be able to see, okay, these are the cameras in the area, let's look to see what we can get, let's push that information out to our troops. So it should enhance or improve the way we do business.
All right, and not to make light of it, but that's a faster response when we see the Easter Bunny out on the streets and he's up to nefarious activity. So everybody's talking about it, Chief.
Yes. Yeah, it is sad. You know, to be honest with you, it's funny, but at the same time, you have an individual on the receiving end of that individual. So we hope that people don't do that in the future. But I'm glad that we were able to identify them.
Absolutely. Yep. We're glad your officer was there so quickly. All right, Chief Rolón, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Likewise.